Welcome to the Toyota Power Team Rockets pregame. Tonight, a couple of teams getting together, looking for a spark to what has been a spark-free or spark-less start to the season thus far. Rockets have won just twice in their first 6, while the Timberwolves have split their first half-dozen decisions to start the season. And the Rockets will try to do what no other team has been able to do so far this season. That's beat the T-Wolves at the Target Center. Minnesota is a perfect 3-0 at home, holding opponents to under the 80-point mark in those games. There is certainly a bright spot for the Rockets, though, and that is Tracy McGrady. For more on T-Mac's status and the matchup, we'll talk about it all throughout the show, but we begin tonight by heading out to a chilly Minnesota and joining Matt Bowler. Good evening, Matt.
Brr, it's cold out here.
You're from Iowa. This shouldn't bother you at all.
I love it. I love the snow.
What's going on and what's coming up tonight on the show, Matt?
Well, I'll tell you what, we do have a game tonight with two very similar teams. The T-Wolves 3-3, the Rockets 2-4. Both teams are healthy tonight. No significant injuries at all on either side. But both of these teams are trying to find players that will play around their superstars. Kevin Garnett having a great season so far, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Who's going to play alongside Kevin Garnett? That's what the Timberwolves are trying to find out. What the Rockets are trying to find out is who's going to make shots around Tracy McGrady. David Wesley's only shooting 28%. Rafer Alston only 30%. Derek Anderson 33%. The Rockets need to find somebody to get hot in cold Minnesota tonight.
Hey, Matt, I want to ask you about it since you were a three-point specialist and you talked about the Rockets having to find somebody to shoot the ball tonight. You know, Denver shot 58% against this Minnesota team from outside. Maybe this is a good night for them to get well with the shooting as far as that's concerned.
Well, the Timberwolves are not known as a great defensive team, but this year their defense has stepped up. They're 9th in the league in defense this year under new coach Dwayne Casey. So Rockets are just going to have to make shots. If you make shots, you look like a great team. If you miss them, it looks ugly.
Making shots makes for great coaches. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you coming up in just a little while. No surprise that the Rockets are better with their best player on the floor, but look at just how much better they are. They average about 13 points per game more, and every offensive category rises dramatically in the 3 games with T-Mac as opposed to the 0-3 record without Tracy McGrady. Tonight's Toyota moving forward, key to the game, stopping who else but Kevin Garnett. KG averaging 26.2 points and 15.4 rebounds a game over his last 5 games against the Rockets. Garnett's 20.7 scoring average this month is his lowest in November since the 97-98 season. So stopping KG, a key to the game. Getting on track during this road trip, a key to the month, if you will. The Rockets are 8-14 in the month of November over the last 2 seasons. A successful November this year will be a major accomplishment considering they play 8 of the 15 games in the month on the road. Yeah, the weather kind of been cold and rainy in Minneapolis all day, and it's kind of like the start of the Rockets season thus far. But tonight, road win could go a long way to turning things around as we join Bill Worrell and Matt Bullard. How you guys doing tonight?
Kevin, Dana, we're doing just fine, staying out of the cold weather right now and heading for Texas after tonight's game. That's the good news. The bad news for the Rockets, as Kevin pointed out, a tough November, Matt, and it's really tough when you're playing the caliber of teams because after tonight, the Rockets go to San Antonio and then get Detroit in a back-to-back situation.
Yeah, the Rockets have been on a tough road trip so far. We still have 2 more games on this road trip. I'm a big fan of looking forward. I don't like looking back at the games that you've lost. Let's look forward. So if we look forward, we've got a tough Minnesota team at home tonight. Then you have San Antonio and Detroit, maybe the toughest back-to-back the Rockets will play all year. And then, of course, after that, Indiana and Dallas. So it doesn't get any easier.
I don't think Jeff Van Gundy made any friends in the NBA office during the playoffs last year. It looked like they stuck him with this early schedule. I don't know if it's a message or not, but with all of these tough teams, there got to be some easier games down the road.
Well, you would think so, but I'll tell you what, you got to play every team in the league because you might as well win some early because that'll just help down the road at the end of the season.
Well, what a real treat for our viewers tonight because you're going to see 2 of the greats of the game and the old heads, so to speak now. Kevin Garnett in his 11th season in the NBA, if you can believe it. Tracy McGrady in his 9th. Tracy's 27. Kevin is only 29.
Yeah, can you believe it? These are 2 guys that came out of high school straight to the NBA, and I think they are both great role models for young players in this league. Kevin Garnett plays hard every night. He is one of the best competitors we have in this league. He does not like to lose. He will do whatever it takes. Tracy McGrady, same type of player. He will put his team on his back He will drain threes from 35 feet. He'll take it to the basket and get an and one. Tracy McGrady is one of those guys who refuses to lose.
Well, the problems the two have, they want to surround themselves with good enough players to get deep into the playoffs. Kevin went to the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago, but there have been some mumbling around now that he is not happy with the way they put this team together here. Could he be thinking about going elsewhere after this season?
I don't know. Kevin Garnett is a very loyal guy, and the Minnesota Timberwolves have been loyal to him. Now, they got rid of Sam Cassell and Spreewell last year, two of the guys who didn't really fit with this team. They got a lot younger now, so Kevin Garnett has a very young team with them. They're 3-3, 3-0 at home, so we'll see if they can put some guys around Kevin Garnett to play for a new coach, Dwayne Casey.
And as much money as he makes, if you were going to trade, you'd have to get 10 for one. I don't know if that's going to work out.
Well, here's two right here.
Well, I'll take that money. I'll take the minimum, man.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but it's going to be a tough game tonight, Kevin and Dana, for the Rockets to try to get a win, but they need to get one tonight with San Antonio and Detroit coming up.
$121 million contract, and you guys would factor. You think the league office would pass that deal?
I don't think they would, and I know John Heike wouldn't. So that's the big problem right there.
I take the minimum for a day. That'd still be a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. The per diem's not bad, guys.
101 a day. That's how you like that per diem?
Yeah.
Could you live on that?
Absolutely.
You
I'd
get a lot
wear
of
the
Starbucks
sock.
for that.
Yeah.
You have trouble feeding your family. I think that's why one of the players isn't here.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's nowhere now. Okay, thanks,
We'll
guys.
leave it at that. There is Yao Ming getting ready for tonight's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, well, Yao Ming loves to play against the T-Wolves, as you'll notice in our stat of the night tonight. In fact, for that matter, he loves to play against the best teams in the NBA. For his career, he has 6 20-plus point games against Minnesota. Only the Lakers have experienced more 20-point outings from Yao. Also against San Antonio, he's had 5 of those with 8 other teams tied at 4. In his last game, Yao Ming had 14 points and 10 rebounds against the Celtics, his 4th double-double of the season. Stromile Swift led the way offensively with 17 points as Tracy McGrady continued to work his way back from back spasms.
Yeah, he had, like you said, 14 in that game. And speaking of that back, let's head back to the Target Center and get the latest on T-Mac's back. Here's Bill.
It's good to see a smile on Tracy McGrady's face. That means you're healthy again and ready to go. So I guess the back's feeling better.
It is, but the cold weather is not helping it out. No, physically I feel better, and I'm still on top of my exercise to make sure that problem doesn't occur anymore.
When a man lives in Orlando and Houston, he doesn't like it too much up in Minneapolis, does he?
You're right about that, but I did live 3 years in Toronto, so I know how the cold weather treats you.
Tracy, coming into this season, it looked like the team, you didn't make a lot of changes except you did bring in Stromile and then Rafer Alston. What about that chemistry you finished last season with? It's been tough to get it back, hasn't it?
Yeah, we definitely don't have that chemistry that we had last year, and that's one of the main reasons why we're struggling early this season. I think it's key that we try to find that chemistry quite early in the season so we can, pretty much gel and get on the road and start winning some ball games. That's the most important thing. We gotta trust one another, and that's what's really going to get us over that hump. If we trust one another on that ball court, and we come to compete every night.
Chemistry always looks better when you make shots. This club is missing some shots now that they made last year. Is that a concern for you?
It's early. It's only 6-7 games into the season, so I'm going to do my best to get these guys feeling quite comfortable on the basketball course, because, like you say, we have some new faces on the team, and we're still trying to figure one another's games out. But no, I'm not concerned about guys missing shots. I feel that they're going to get their rhythm, and we're going to get on the road and get this thing turned around quick.
Schedule makers didn't do you any favors early in the year, huh?
It really doesn't. And, it's a good test for us to see where we're really at, and I'm glad that we have this tough schedule ahead of us. So we can be playing against the elite teams in the league and see where we fit in with those teams. So it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that we got to be up for.
Good to see you getting back in stride.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I love doing what I do.
All right, T-Mac is with us, and let's take it back to the studio.
Live from the Target Center in snowy Minneapolis, FSN Houston presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, it's the Rockets taking on the Minnesota T-Wolves. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us. And it's official. The first snow of the NBA season. And it's in Minneapolis here tonight. But that doesn't concern the Houston Rockets. They want to warm it up inside the building. And that's something the Rockets haven't been able to do this season. One of the reasons for the slow start, outside of Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming, nobody else in the Rockets team can make a shot. And that means a slow start to the NBA season. Now, Matt Bullard, last year the Rockets had that great chemistry at the end of the season. They haven't been able to find that so far early this year.
Well, chemistry is very difficult to find. There's no formula for it in basketball. You just know it when you have it. Don't ask me. I failed chemistry in college, so...
Well, I did too, so what am I talking about?
Right.
But Tracy McGrady, when he has been able to play, he has been right on target this season.
Yeah, well, Tracy McGrady is one of those special players that can turn it on when his team needs it. What he needs is some players that can play alongside of him. When he's making shots like this, when he's putting his team on his back to win games, he needs some help from the rest of his teammates.
And, of course, we talk about Tracy. He's in his 9th season. He's only 27 years old. This is the 11th season for Kevin Garnett, and he's only 29.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Makes me feel old.
Well, he can get it going all over the court, can't he?
Well, he'll make a lot of people feel old. He can do it on both ends, offensively and defensively. He's averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, getting it done this season for the Timberwolves.
All right, it's time now for the Toyota Power Team. Keys to the game.
Well, the first key, if you're playing for the most intense coach in the league, you got to find some energy and intensity. Key number 2, I think we need to get Yao more touches. He's the only Rocket shooting over 50%. And, of course, key number 3, finish the game. Of course, you can't finish the game unless you start the game, Bill, so the Rockets also need a good start.
This has been a very good defensive team for Dwayne Casey, this Minnesota team. Rockets need to hit their shots early, don't they?
They need to get up early, yes.
All right, let's see if we can get that done. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment from the Target Center on FSN Houston. Again, everybody, and welcome back to the Target Center in Minneapolis. NBA basketball coming here tonight. The Houston Rockets off to a slow start at 2-4 against the Minnesota Timberwolves at 3-3. Minnesota has struggled on the road, but has won all 3 games here at the Target Center this season. Let's check out tonight's Southwest Airlines starting lineups. And for the Houston Rockets, Juwan Howard, Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Derek Anderson, and Rafer Alston. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are anchored, of course, by their superstar Kevin Garnett, Wally Szczerbiak, Michael Olowokandi, Trenton Hassel, and Marko Jaric. So we're just about ready for the tip-off from snowy Minneapolis here on FSN Houston. One of the keys tonight for Matt Bullard was finish the game, but for these two teams, maybe starting the game would be more important for the Houston Rockets and the Minnesota T-Wolves, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Both teams averaging 20 points in the first quarter, so I guess don't expect a lot early here from either one of these teams tonight. Jeff Van Gundy, of course, talking to me before the game said, you know, all we've got to do is shoot a little better. The big 3 on the perimeter, if they start to shoot like they did last season, then it'll look like that our team is much further along than it is. And, of course, shooting really helps. It's kind of like in baseball when you don't hit, everything looks bad. Well, when you don't make your shots in basketball, everything you do looks bad. Dwayne Casey getting his chance at a head coaching job this year. He played for Joe B. Hall at Kentucky. He assisted Eddie Sutton there. Then he went to Japan and coached in the Japanese Basketball Association, and then landed in Seattle, where he was an assistant for 11 years under George Karl, and then the #1 assistant for Nate McMillan over the last 5 years. Dwayne Casey is a good basketball man, Matt, and he gets a chance to have his own team this season.
It's great to see Dwayne Casey get an opportunity with a good team. A lot of guys who break into coaching, they have to go to a really, really bad team. That gives you a bad start as a new coach.
I remember when I first met Dwayne back in 94, 95 when he joined that Seattle team under George Karl.
They went on to win 64 games that year and advanced to the NBA Finals, so he got a good taste of what that was like. And he likes to stress defense. His teams, he thinks, will make you take the tough shot, and that's something the Rockets are going to have to do to win here tonight. Kevin Garnett, believe it or not, in his 11th NBA campaign, and he's only 29 years old. And Tracy McGrady heading into his 9th season, he's only 27. So two of the young superstars squaring off in the NBA tonight.
Wouldn't you say that both those guys have a lot of miles on their bodies, though, Bill? Played a lot of minutes, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I tell you what, at 27 and 29, I can put up with those kind of miles.
Wouldn't it be great to be 27 and 29 again?
Oh, boy.
And be able to jump like those guys.
Look at Garnett go out and get the... He said it's too quiet in here.
Well, that's what I like about Kevin Garnett is he is intense. He plays hard every night. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars playing this game, and he still goes out and gives it his best every night.
Marko Jaric now on the perimeter to set up the offense for Minnesota. Good pickup by Yao Ming. Hassel is more of a defensive threat, although he's getting more shots this year. Jaric can shoot it. He'll go to Olowokandi. Back to Jaric again. Puts up a three. Short. Rebound Olowokandi. Takes it right back over Yao Ming, and a foul called on Yao.
Well, if Minnesota's going to count on Olowokandi going at Yao, Yao's going to have to take that matchup there and use it to his advantage. We'll see here Kevin Olowokandi just takes it in there, and Yao fouls him right on the wrist. Yao's going to have to play better defense against Olowokandi. Olowokandi should not be able to score against a guy like Yao.
Olowokandi not a good free throw shooter at 60%, although he gets the first one here. He's really been an enigma over the years for both the Clippers, where he was drafted #1. He came here to Minnesota. He has been injury prone in his career, and when he's been healthy, he's been up and down, and they're hoping to get some consistency from him this season. Rafer Alston also struggling with his shot to run this team. And Rafer trying to get it inside, gets it back. Short jumper short, way short. Down to Olowokandi again on the post. He'll square up on Yao Ming. Yao doesn't want to pick up right now, and Olowokandi going to work on Yao. This is what troubles them about Olowokandi. Some nights he can look just super, and other nights he just disappears.
Well,
tonight he's come to play.
Yeah, he looks good so far. I'm shocked that they went to him the first 2 plays of the game against Yao, but obviously they're trying to get Yao into foul trouble.
There's another turnover by Houston. Hassel. Garnett working on Juwan Howard, sets up Zerbiak. And he misses. Yao with a rebound.
Zerbiak's been struggling this year a little bit, shooting less than 40%, 26% from the three-point line.
T-Mac misses, and Zerbiak runs it down. So the Rockets off to their typical slow start.
Looks like both teams are running in snow right now, doesn't it, Bill?
Yeah, yes.
Both teams are running in snow, but Minnesota's got 6 points.
Well, they know how to do it. They live up here.
They got their snow boots on.
They got the snow boots.
Break out the snowshoes for the second half.
We got those cowboy boots. They don't work good in the snow. And Derek Anderson hits. That's a big basket now. The Rockets have been pressing a little bit, Matt, and as a shooter, you start to press, it just gets worse.
That makes it snowball, so to speak.
Oh, man.
It just keeps coming and coming, Bill.
We're going all right. Olowokandi runs down another.
Yeah, if you're a shooter, Bill, you don't want to be pressing. You want to just catch the ball in the rhythm and just shoot it like you do in practice.
In the corner to Zerbiak. This is a three. And a loose ball foul is called on Houston. And it's on Juwan Howard.
And you've got a rebounder inside like Kevin Garnett, who's averaging 11 points a game. You've got to kind of rebound by committee. That time, Juwan Howard was trying to box out. You see, he's trying to box out Kevin Garnett and just got his chicken wing up there a little bit.
Down to Olowokandi again. Shoots it over Yao. The basket counts, and they're going to call a second foul on Yao Ming. We have not played 3 minutes into this game, and Yao with already 2 personal fouls. Wow.
Let's see, it looked like it looked to me like that was good defense. Yao was playing straight up. I didn't see much contact, but that's the game plan of Minnesota, trying to get Yao into foul trouble.
And Jeff Van Gundy gets a technical. He comes all the way to midcourt. You know, I really don't understand that. The old officials used to, if that basket went in and there was just a brush like there appeared to be there never was a foul call. Now you get one of your star players in the NBA with 2 fouls early. It's Monty McCutcheon, David Jones, Pat Frayer, the young official, made that call.
Well, that's the key right there. You said the older officials knew how to keep the superstars in the game. You know, that's definitely not a foul you'd call on a superstar with 2 minutes gone in the game, but you mentioned the young official, Pat Frayer, made the call.
Well, now you've got, what do you do? Ride him?
Looks like we're going to ride him. And I like that decision by Van Gundy to keep him in the game. Yao only plays 30 to 35 minutes a game. You might as well try to use him here in the first quarter. If he gets another one,
and it's knocked out of bounds by the T-Wolves. 10-2 already. This is looking too much like Boston, and you don't want to let them run off and get a comfortable lead early. The Rockets were able to stay with the Celtics. In fact, it was only 10 points at halftime. But you really get the other team gets on a roll. Good run, good hustle by Rafer Alston. Fresh 24 for Houston. Rockets just not able to hit a shot. An open look.
Nice pass.
Yep. Anderson misses. Yao with a rebound. Yao puts it back up. Olowokandi with a block. Wow. Serbiak to the basket. Knocked out of bounds by Houston.
Perhaps one of the best starts I've ever seen Michael Olowokandi play. We'll see Yao get the rebound, try to take it back up, and Olowokandi just out of nowhere slaps that one back, and he's pumped up.
Serbiak with a miss.
Well, maybe Dwayne Casey is the coach that will finally get Olowokandi to play basketball.
Trenton Hassel is charged with a foul. Hassel's one of those stoppers, they like to call him, along the Bruce Bowen mold. He doesn't look for a lot of his own shots. He's in there usually to pick up the other team's #1 player, but he's getting a few more shots this year, and he says he likes it.
Well, if you're playing defense on the toughest guy every night, you might as well get a shot or two.
Yao with a miss. I like him going right back to Yao Ming again, and he got a good look. Just a little short on the shot.
The Rockets only shooting 14% though, Bill.
Yarich is fouled, going to the basket. Again, it's an offensive foul?
Yeah, they called a moving screen on Hassel.
All right. Well, Hassel now has picked up a couple early. And we played 4 minutes. The Rockets have 2 points.
14% shooting. They need to get some easy baskets.
Rafer Alston on a nice drive inside, lays it up with the left hand, missed it. Yarich in the open court. Bring it around to Garnett. Garnett with the jumper. The Rockets now 0 for the last 5 from the field. And an offensive foul is called on Derek Anderson.
Yep. The Rockets are just shooting themselves in the foot. Turning the ball over. Offensive fouls. Missed shots. Not the way Coach Van Gundy wanted this team to start tonight.
Zerbiak backing it in. Good defense by Derek Anderson. Zerbiak picked that dribble up. Shot clock at 7 seconds. Down to 6, down to 5. Zerbiak again. And he misses again. So it's a good thing he's off to a slow start. Zerbiak 0 for 5. And it's still a 10-2 lead. McGrady misses. Now the Rockets look like they're really pressing. 1 for 9 to start this game. Zerbiak on the drive and a whistle on Houston. Rafer Alston calls for his first foul of the game.
Well, you're right, Bill. The Rockets really do look like they're pressing. We'll see Wally Zerbiak driving in. Obvious foul right there. Rafer not wanting his man going there for an easy layup. The Rockets really are pressing, Bill. It just hurts to watch them try to make a basket out there.
Wally Zerbiak in his 7th year. Out of Miami, Ohio. #1 draft choice for the T-Wolves. He was starting to come into his own in that 02-03 season. And then he had a lot of injuries and then played only 28 games in 03-04. Last year played in 81 games and started getting it together, and in fact came off the bench for them. He was in that role when they had Cassell. He gets 1 out of 2. Now to T-Mac, working on Dupree, who's checked into the game. Now to Yao. Yao back outside. Juwan, 1 extra pass. Ray for Alston, misses, and tipped out of bounds by Minnesota. Rockets get it back.
My first key to the game, Bill, was play with intensity. If you're not going to be making shots, at least you can play hard. That time Yao was inside battling for the offensive rebound, got his team another possession.
And a foul is whistled. And Dupree picks up the foul. He just checked into the game.
Dupree, in his 3rd year out of LSU, has only played 31 minutes so far this season. How about the coach looking down the bench and saying, "Hey, Dupree, go in and guard T-Mac."
He says, "You mean me?"
Who, me?
Yeah, well, you know, you see a lot of those young players now starting to get some minutes. Dupree spent last season in Detroit. He played in 47 games, averaged 3 points a game. But you don't get a lot of minutes in Detroit with that backcourt.
How about the Pistons? They're starting so far this year. Still undefeated. Flip Saunders, the coach here at Minnesota last year, doing an excellent job in Detroit.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Flip in Detroit Friday night in the Toyota Center. The Rockets will make a brief trip home. Nice steal. Juwan Howard gets it up ahead to Derek Anderson. He waits his turn and draws the foul from Zerbiak and missed the layup.
Get it to drop.
Oh, my goodness. Rockets 0 for their last 8 shots now. But Derek will go to the free throw line.
Great defensive play by Juwan Howard. Gets the ball, a nice lead pass up to Derek Anderson. Derek feels the defender and then just blows the layup. That's when you know you're snake bit, when you blow the layup and then you miss the first free throw.
Derek can't explain it, Matt. 33% coming into this game on the season in the first 6 games, and he says he has never, ever shot 33%. You can go all the way back to Bibby ball.
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is, Bill. Every shooter goes through slumps throughout the season. You can't shoot your best every game. You go through about 2-week periods where you shoot the ball poorly and then you shoot the ball great for 2 weeks. The only problem with the Rockets is every one of their shooters is going through a slump right now.
Kevin Garnett doesn't slump. He never slumps.
He doesn't even get hurt.
13-5 now, Rockets. Yao posting up inside. He's got the position on Garnett. Turns, fires, and hits. Nice touch, Yao Ming. And he gets his first basket of the game. Playing with 2 fouls, but he was still very aggressive with that move.
So the Timberwolves went to Olowokandi the first 2 possessions and haven't gone back to him since.
Garrett to Zerbiak. Garnett again. Top of the key. Hits again. You ever seen a 6'11" guy with as much range?
I haven't, Bill, and I played many games against Kevin Garnett, and it's impossible. On those jump shots, you can't even affect it because he jumps so high and his arms are so long.
And McGrady draws the foul, and Tracy will shoot 2. We'll take a break. There's a timeout on the court. 4:58 left to play in the first period. Rockets 2 for 11 from the field. Minnesota up by 8, 4:58 left to play in the first. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders. We talked a little bit about this in Boston. Kevin Garnett, among the young men coming straight out of high school or with no college experience, over 15,000 points. That's second to Moses Malone at 27,000. Tracy McGrady down on the list at 12 plus.
And how about Moses Malone not even being drafted? Undrafted.
Well, he went to the ABA, Matt, and played in the ABA, and that's where the Rockets got him. After he came out of the ABA and went to Buffalo, then the Rockets gave up 3 number-1 draft choices. I remember at the time everybody said that Ray Patterson had given up the farm. He said, the farm's not that expensive. To get a Moses Malone, I'll give up everything.
27,000 points.
And worked out pretty good because he won a couple of MVPs in Houston. So it's 15-9 now as Marko Jaric will bring it up. Down low to Oluwakandi. Zerbiak to the basket. Nobody picked him up.
That was a play that Dwayne Casey drew up in that timeout. It's a sign of a good coach being able to get an easy basket out of a timeout.
Now with a great pass out from the double team, and Anderson misses the shot. Rockets are next to last in the NBA in shooting at 40%. Zerbiak right back down and hits. And it seems that the lack of shooting has permeated to other aspects of the game as far as the Rockets are concerned.
Well, it's very easy to get frustrated if you're not making your shots. And when you get frustrated playing the game, that's not a good mental attitude to have.
And good pass by Tracy McGrady to Juwan Howard for the easy layup. It's pretty obvious they're doing what all the other teams are doing now. They're double and sometimes triple teaming McGrady. As long as the rest of the Rockets don't step up and hit, it's going to be tough for him to get his shots. Oluwakandi with a quick shot.
That's a good point, Bill. If you don't have any players around Tracy McGrady that can make shots, you can just focus your whole defense on him. And here comes the double team.
Team out for the miss.
Tracy saw the double team coming and just raised up with the jump shot.
Brady got off to a slow start in New Jersey, but we saw what he did in the second half. And that was an unbelievable shooting exhibition. 35 points, 20 in the fourth quarter. At Boston, he was on the tired side and never got into the game. And I thought it was wise of Jeff Van Gundy to rest him when the game got out of hand. Yao Ming will come out now.
Well, you can't use back-to-back games or travel excuses tonight. The Rockets had time to rest yesterday and should be fresh tonight.
Garnett takes it down. Oluwakandi will work it over Mutombo with a miss. And the Rockets knocked each other off the basketball. Howard and McGrady. So the ball goes over to Minnesota.
When you're playing a game like this, and you're not shooting the ball well, when things don't seem to be going for you, you've got to have someone on your team. Pick everyone up, pick everyone's spirits up, bring some positive energy to the team.
Foul on Rafer Alston, that's his second. And the 15th foul on the Rockets. Both teams in the penalty now for the final 3 minutes of this quarter.
It doesn't necessarily have to be your best player or your leader. It can be someone on the bench that pumps everybody up, that gives them some positive energy. But the Rockets need to find something positive somewhere from one of their players.
Howard gets one out of two. (22-11). The lead by the T-Wolves. Setting up the offense. Alston gets free in the middle. Puts it up with the left hand. And it counts. Great drive by Rafer Alston. That's how he came advertised to the Houston Rockets. A slasher from the outside, showing a little bit of those old New York street moves. Timeout, Minnesota. Well, the Rockets aren't shooting very well, but still only 7 points down. That's the good news with 2:48 left in the first quarter. I thought they had heat in here.
Yeah, it is cold, inside and out.
Well, look at this now. If he makes these two free throws, Rockets will be only 5 points down.
And they're shooting 4 for 15.
Or there's one free throw.
Made a three-point play.
Yeah,
4 for 15, 26% from the floor, and only down 6.
Yeah, that's good. You got to shoot better than that. Jaric taking it down. Garnett on the box. Turns and fires over Howard. Misses. Good rebound inside, but Oluwakandi keeps it alive. Fresh 24 for the T-Wolves. They'll go right back and reward him now with a shot, and he misses. Loose ball. McGrady's got it. A lot of red jerseys. David Wesley in the game. Cross court. Oh, look at it. He's wide open and stepped out of bounds. Rafer Alston.
Well, Rafer has been struggling with his jump shot, and on that pass, it looked like he didn't want to shoot it.
Talking to Jeff Van Gundy tonight, he said Rafer just needs to relax.
He does. Rafer's really putting a lot of pressure on himself, and you see as he steps out of bounds there.
And get in bounds.
If he's not comfortable shooting that three, he needs to take a step in and shoot a two.
Yarich on the drive. Good interior. I think Mutombo made him change that shot. Here's Wesley at the other end. Rockets down by only 6. Howard top of the key, all in one motion. Yes, over Garnett. Juwan Howard hits his second shot of the game. He has 4 points.
Juwan is shooting 45% from the floor. That's pretty good for Juwan, and one of the best shooting percentages on the team.
Ten on the shot clock. Garnett to the basket. And a slam by Dupree. Foul called on Houston. Good pass. Ronald Dupree.
Was there a trampoline down there on the baseline?
Nope.
For sure.
He doesn't need it. He's 6'7". He can jump right through the ceiling.
Watch this pass from Kevin Garnett inside. Sees Dupree cut into the basket and boing! Wow. That looks just like you, Bill, jumping up there like that.
Yeah, right. Jumping down maybe off the bed.
Oh.
Well, Dupree was not drafted after the 2003 season. He finished up as LSU's top 10 career scorers and rebounders. Played with Chicago as a rookie and played in Huntsville with the developmental league. So he's getting an opportunity here. It shows you what a good athlete he is. McCants is checked into the game now for his first action, and he draws a foul right off the bat. This was their number 1 draft choice, of course, out of North Carolina.
Our buddy Jim Peterson, who does TV for the Timberwolves now, played many years in Houston. He said that Rashad McCants is the real deal, that we're really going to enjoy watching him play tonight. And when your rookie can come in and make contributions like McCants has done, that's always a plus.
Well, he's one of the outstanding rookies. As we said, he was the number 1 draft choice. He helped lead North Carolina to that NCAA championship and the win over Luther Head's team at Illinois. And the exciting final, and McCants, what was it, 4 number 1s off that North Carolina team? And they're still in the top 10.
That's an amazing program there.
John Barry in the game. He'll match up with Yarich. Garnett on the perimeter. Over to Eddie Griffin. Now to Garnett. Got to watch Griffin at the three-point line. McCants will fire it up. That's off the mark, and Mutombo with a rebound. 22-18. Rockets down by only 4. Make it, I was going to say 2. Howard will go to the line to shoot 2. Great pass by McGrady.
Not only a great pass, but how about Juwan Howard getting down the court, running right past his defender, forcing the Minnesota Timberwolves to foul him. It's pretty good for an old man like Juwan.
Did you see Juwan point afterwards at McGrady and say, "My bad"? He cost him an assist.
Yep. Well, maybe about 5 years ago, Juwan would have dunked that. But I can feel his pain as an older player not being able to get up and dunk that ball.
He was going pretty fast. He'll have one more. Well, that graphic we showed you, both teams averaging 20 points apiece in the first quarter. We're going to be right on that, aren't we? 51 seconds left to play, and it's 22-19.
There's that. Both teams 20 points in the first quarter, tied for last.
Outside, Dupree hits.
He must have heard us talking about it.
Ronald Dupree. LSU's had some good players come down there the last 3 or 4 years. Bass was drafted into the NBA this year. McGrady, 10 seconds on the shot clock. T-Mac to Wesley. David with a miss. And Juwan with good hustle, but he knocks it out of bounds.
The whole Rockets bench saying, hey, that should be our ball. Officials confer, and we'll see here on the replay.
That's what they do.
Well, it was Kevin Garnett who did knock the ball out, and the officials got it right.
Yeah, Frayer, the young official, called it Minnesota's ball. He was standing right there, but he was overruled by David Jones. It was such an obvious out of bounds off Garnett.
Officials are human too, Bill. They make mistakes.
Well, there's one human out there making a lot of them.
Okay. Well, you know, not every player is going to make every jump shot. Not every official is going to get every call right. Not that I'm taking up for
A
him.
lot of wisdom in that statement by Matt Bullard. All right, here we go now. 15 seconds left to play. No shot clock for the Rockets to get the final shot.
Jess Kersey taught me that one time when I was trying to tell him he made a bad call. He said, "You don't make all your shots, do you?"
Good comeback. 3 seconds, down to 2. Garnett's on T-Mac. Came out and blocked it. Well, we've seen Garnett do that. He'll pick up your best player on the final play. He took the challenge and blocked the shot. And the first quarter belongs to the T-Wolves, 24-19. Rockets outscored Minnesota 10-5 in the last 4 minutes after starting the game down 11-2. All right, David Wesley in the game. Strohmeyer, Swift, John Barry, Mutombo, and McGrady. T-Mac picked up by Garnett. Somebody swatted that ball away. It looked like McCants may have gotten a hand on it. Dupree giving it up. McCants is fouled going to the basket.
Let's watch a replay on this. Nowhere to go, really. And that's another one of those calls, Bill, where John Barry just backing away from the shooter. Doesn't come down on the arms or anything. Just staying straight up. I didn't see the foul.
Rashad McCants, 6'4", 207, as we said, out of North Carolina, #1 draft choice. And they said he made a spectacular dunk the other night in the Denver game.
On Marcus Camby.
On Marcus Camby. And then gave him a little shove from behind, and when he did, the officials kicked him out of the game, didn't they?
That was actually the second technical.
That was the second tee.
Kevin Garnett had dunked earlier in the game, and Rashad McCants had gotten a tee for taunting, and then when he dunked, and he taunted and got thrown out of the game.
And Dwayne Casey, the head coach of Minnesota, said he had to have a little heart-to-heart with McCants. He wants him to play with a lot of emotion, but don't get those technicals. And Swift misses, Mutombo cleans it up, and he's fouled on the play. Well, it looks like there might be a top on that basket at the Houston end. The Rockets are now 5 of 19 for 26%, but they're still hustling underneath. There are a lot of rebounds to be had.
Yes, there are. Rebounding numbers ought to be sky high tonight. Both teams shooting very poorly.
So Derek Anderson will check back into the game. John Barry, little hook shot. Boy, that's tough over Garnett.
John Barry pulling that one out of his bag of tricks.
Deep into his bag of
Very
tricks.
deep.
Wow. 26-21, T-Wolves. Troy Hudson controlling the game now. Eddie Griffin will shoot the 3 off the mark. He fell in love with that shot when he played in Houston. Of course, the Rockets took him in the first round, and there's Derek Anderson with a great drive over Griffin. Griffin's a pretty good shot blocker, too.
A couple nice plays in a row for the Rockets taking the ball to the basket. Some of the coaches on the Rockets bench must have said, hey, look, we can't hit any jump shots. Let's take the ball to the basket, see if we can get some layups or at least draw a foul.
Good strategy. 26-23 now. Griffin says, I'll try it again, and he hits. Eddie Griffin.
Well, if you're a shooter and you miss your first one, if you can get another one right away, sometimes you know exactly how you missed that first one. You can correct it.
That's the first three-pointer made in this game. And the Rockets want to call a 20-second timeout.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy, after that three-pointer by Eddie Griffin, he got very upset with his defense. And, of course, as many threes as Rafe LaFrentz hit in the last game in Boston, he was 7 for 7 in the first half. Jeff Van Gundy not happy to see that mistake made again.
Well, Boston was unconscious. They made 12 threes. That will happen to you occasionally, but Minnesota, not that good a shooting team. Minnesota only shooting 29% from the three-point line.
They are ranked 25th in the league in three-point percentage, but defending the three-point on the other end, they're first. So they don't make many, but they don't give up many.
So they hang around the line, but they're better defensively.
Yep.
What do you see so far in the Rockets?
Well, the Rockets, like you say, if you can make shots, your offense looks great. If you can't make shots, if you're shooting 33%, 7 for 21, your offense looks ugly. It's very, very simple. The Rockets are getting shots that they can make. They're starting to take the ball to the basket now, which is a great way to get your shooting percentage up. But simple, just make shots.
The only reason the Rockets are still in this game, they've allowed Minnesota to shoot only 41%. So even though the Rockets are shooting 33%, Minnesota hasn't been able to run off and hide.
Well, that's the constant on Jeff Van Gundy's teams is defense. And you're going to get defense every night from his team, and that's just effort. And his team will play good defense every night. But you can't win on defense alone. You've got to be able to score some points.
Wesley looking for Barry out on the wing. Nice little play. He got open. Nice bounce pass. Mutombo with a fake. Goes for the dunk, and he's fouled from behind by Dupree. Did you see Ronald Dupree get up in the air then?
Tell you what, Minnesota has gotten a lot younger. Let's watch this youngster, Dupree. Nice pass from JB to Mutombo. Mutombo walks, no call. And Dupree, out of nowhere, swats that one away. But Minnesota has gotten a lot younger. They got rid of Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell, and they've come in with some youngsters, and they are among the youngest teams in the league now. And they've got a lot of energy out there in the court.
Rockets, on the other hand, are the second. No, I think San Antonio is older than Houston.
Second oldest team.
Yeah, second oldest team in the league.
But the Rockets have the most experience per player. 7.5 years of NBA experience per player.
And they've looked a little on the slow side, but again, when you're not making any shots, everything looks bad.
That's like a magnifying glass right there.
And it's 29-24. Still the Rockets trail by only 5. And we've played 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Eddie Griffin trying to find a home here in Minnesota. Hudson. And he is fouled on the play. Derek Anderson picks up his second foul of the game. That's 9 fouls already on Houston and 10 fouls on Minnesota. So Troy Hudson will be at the line. Hudson's an 8-year veteran of the NBA Wars, and he played with the Clippers and Orlando, and the last 3 years he's been here in Minnesota, and he's been a good backup because he brings a lot of offense to the game.
Yep. Now it's his chance to really take over this team with Sam Cassell going to the Clippers.
Remember a couple of years ago, what was it, the 2003 Western Conference playoffs? Hudson had those big games against the Lakers. Wesley picks out D.A. on the drive, drops it off to Mutombo. Mutombo waits his time to take it out. Loses space. Mutombo just very patient and finally got his shot to go.
Well, Mutombo knows he's the longest player out there on the court. He's just going to find some space before he goes up to the hoop.
He's not going to win any dance contests.
Oh, man. The size 22s, it takes a while to move those things.
And Mark Matson, the Mad Dog, gets the rebound out to Anthony Carter. Over to Hudson now. McCants is in the game, along with Griffin. So both teams deep in their benches. Griffin again with a 3, short. Long rebound to Barry. Swift wants the ball. He's got it. Working on Griffin. Stromile. Swift with a quick basket. Now, that was really good transition. They got in their offense in a hurry, didn't they?
Yeah, good job by John Barry to push the ball, and Stromile Swift, quicker than anybody in the team, ran right down to the box.
Eddie Griffin again.
Wow.
Boy, I'll tell you, he is in love with that three-point line, and when you're 6'10",
you better make it.
Yeah, you better. And he hasn't. That's why he's here in Minnesota. Never worked out in Houston, and there's a foul on Eddie.
After that last three-point shot he took, Dwayne Casey was all over it.
So we have a whistle on the court, 8:11 left to play in the second period. Rockets down by only 3. 8:11 left to play in the first half. Rockets down 31-28. Let's take a look at tonight's Wachovia Uncommon Theme. Isn't this interesting? The Rockets aggressive, making more free throws than their opponents in all 4 of their losses, but shooting woefully from the field.
That is uncommon.
Yeah, Jeff would like to turn that around. He'd probably take fewer free throws, although both teams tonight are 10 of 13 from the line.
A lot of free throws shot in this game so far. The Rockets should be a very good free throw percentage team.
And they were in the preseason.
Yeah, and tonight 10 for 13, that's good, but they've had some games in the 60% range, and that's just not good enough.
Nice move inside. Stromile Swift. Well, was that a quick leap or what?
Stromile can do that.
31-30. So the Rockets now have climbed to within one, trailing by as many as 10. And they've done it with the bench. Roy Hudson, good pickup by Mutombo. Hudson all the way inside. Stromile Swift eradicates it. And Wesley back the other way. Has it knocked out of bounds. Rockets ball. So the Rockets now with a chance to take their first lead of the game.
And we talked about the sign of a good NBA coach getting a good shot out of a timeout.
Where did Swift come from?
Oh, man. Let's watch this dunk by Stromile Swift. Dunks on 2 Minnesota Timberwolves. That was a great play drawn up by Van Gundy in the timeout.
Fellas, save that block for later. Wesley, down to Swift again. Hook shot, off the mark, but he looks very active tonight. McCants, the other one, better pick him up. You got to stop the ball, don't you, Matt?
That is rule number 1 on transition defense. Derek Anderson looking at John Barry saying, you got to pick up that ball. A little miscommunication on the defense that time.
So McCants takes it all the way down. It's back to a 3-point lead by Minnesota. Shot clock at 4 seconds. Derek Anderson gets a good look and curls around to pick for 2. And it's back to 33-32 Minnesota. 6:40 left to play in the first half.
That jump shot by Derek Anderson looked very much like he was in rhythm, and he's hoping to continue to get that going.
Isolation for Rashad McCants. Turns inside, beats Mutombo. And hustled by the Mad Dog.
Mark Manson, another one of those players in the Ryan Bowen mold. You'd love to have him on your team. You hate to play against him.
Hudson outside to Griffin. After missing his last threes, he never looked for one then. Hudson taking it on Wesley. Lost the ball. McCants, 2 seconds. Down to 1. And got it off in time. Unbelievable. Well, the youngster just with great natural ability was able to can that shot. Shot clock went off while the ball was in the air. 5:44 left to play. Coming off that pick, same play again. This time Anderson almost throws it away. Stromile Swift gets a step on Griffin, and Eddie with a foul. So we've got a timeout on the court. Watch Stromile Swift go to work defensively here to erase a shot by Minnesota, and the Rockets trail by 3. 5:37 left to play in the first half.
That's the thing I love about Kevin Garnett, though, is he has made hundreds of millions of dollars playing this game, and he still comes out and gives it his all every night.
When you look at the career numbers, too, he's averaged over 20 points a game. He's always averaged 10 rebounds a game, and almost he's in the top 10 or top 20 in a... Oh, my goodness. I'll pretend like I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
It's a blizzard outside, Bill, and it's really windy, and someone opened the door to the arena, and the wind blew that off.
I knew there was a good explanation for that.
Got to keep that door shut during those free throws.
That wasn't just an air ball. That was... I don't know what it was, and neither is Stromile Swift, but he hasn't touched the rim yet.
On 2 shots.
Yeah. 35-33, 5:26 left to play. Oloa Candy is back in the game along with Yao Ming. We have a foul on the baseline. Stromile Swift is called for the foul, and that's his first of the game. Well, Kevin Garnett went out of the game for 4.5 minutes, and during that time, Matt, the Rockets outscored Minnesota 9-4, so that shows you his importance. McCants will go out, and Hassel will come back in, so it'll be Oloa Candy and Hassel and KG and Hudson will stay in the game. Anthony Carter will stay in. 3 seconds. Down to 2. Down to 1. Hudson has to force it up, and it almost went in. Oh, that would have been too much to take. Rockets down by 2, looking to tie it. There's McGrady, and it goes over the backboard. So Tracy still looking for his first basket. He's 0 for 5 from the field. He's 4 of 4 from the line.
This game reminds me a lot of that New Jersey Nets game where he struggled in the first half, taking very tough jump shots. I'd like to see T-Mac take the ball to the basket, get himself going that way. That's what he did in the Nets game to score 35.
I'll take a repeat of that game if it turns out the same way. Garnett. Hudson, 1 extra pass, 2 seconds. Anthony Carter hits the basket. Well, that's called trusting your teammates. That's moving that ball around till you get it to the open man.
It's easy basketball when you have a player like Kevin Garnett.
Good drive by Wesley. Hudson kept waiting for Wesley to pull up and get into the half-court offense. And David forced the action. That's the 5th team foul on the T-Wolves. Both teams, well, the Rockets still have a foul to give.
David Wesley is an old veteran. As a matter of fact, it was David Wesley's birthday yesterday, so I can call him an old veteran. That move right there with the ball, taking it in and drawing the foul, was an old vet move to get yourself on the free throw line. Of course, he missed the first free throw.
He's a career. In his 13 NBA campaigns, David has averaged 80% from the free throw line, and this season, that was only his 3rd miss of the season, so he's still an 85% free throw shooter. Rockets 11 of 16 from the line. I don't know how you can great shooters miss free throws.
Too close.
Forgive me. 3-point lead by the T-Wolves.
That's an 11, isn't it?
It's supposed to be. That's why we pick them up, because we can't make it. Yarich back into the game now, picked up by Wesley, down to 4, down to 3, down to 2. Garnett misses. Now the Rockets have forced Minnesota into 3 desperation shots in the last 3 possessions. McGrady gets a step. McGrady to the basket. Finger rolls it up for 2, and that's the first basket by Tracy McGrady.
That's good. Take the ball to the basket. Looked like there was a little contact, no call, but T-Mac able to finish that drive. Hopefully that'll get him started.
1-point lead by the T-Wolves. 3:35 left to play in the half. Zerbiak. 2 half-court teams here. Garnett gets a step over Yao. It cleared him out. And the foul is called on Yao Ming. Watch the left arm, though, of Garnett.
Let's see here. Yao.
See him clear him out?
Yeah, KG cleared him out with the left hand. And once again, Yao is just kind of standing there and gets called for a foul.
You know, as long as he's going to get a foul being backing up, Yao ought to just go after him. Ought to just get a very active, aggressive foul. Looks like the more that he backs up defensively, Matt, the more they call it on him.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things where it's very difficult to officiate a guy that size. He just needs maybe to be more aggressive. When I played in my era, there was a 7'4" guy who played for Utah, Mark, and he was one of the big space eaters inside, and he was great at affecting shots and blocking shots without getting fouls.
Yao Ming working on Olowokandi, takes it to the middle, puts it up and in, and he draws the foul. The one thing you love about Yao Ming, he got his first shot blocked by Olowokandi. He has not shied off, and this is much like he did in Miami. He got his first shot blocked by Alonzo Mourning, but he came right back.
Yeah, Yao takes his time on this post move, gets what he wants, draws the foul, and I agree with you, Bill. Nothing phases Yao. If he gets a shot block, he'll come right back to it, and I like that kind of mentality.
And he gets a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. And this game is tied at 39.
What?
It's been a real...
It's tied?
It's tied.
Wow.
It's been a real uphill struggle.
It has.
Rockets trail by as many as 10.
It's been tough sledding so far, hasn't it?
Garnett off the glass. Ball tipped by Olowokandi. Out hustles Yao for the rebound. Misses the putback. And McGrady secures it. Rockets with a chance to take the lead on this possession. Barry takes it down to Yao.
Oh, bad pass. Yao knows it. The ball slipped out of his hand. Said, my fault, Strohmeyer.
So Tracy McGrady takes the ball to the basket, and the game is tied at 39. Rockets have been able to slowly but surely improve that shooting percentage. They're up to 43% now and holding Minnesota to 36%. Garnett on the perimeter to Hassel, over to Olowokandi, swinging around the horn, looking for Garnett on the post-up. Zerbiak on the drive. Hassel will shoot it and miss it, and T-Mac is there for another rebound. Hassel with a steal. Zerbiak. Hassel. Fouled by McGrady, count the basket. Well, what a turnaround that was. Rockets heading one way to try to get the lead. The turnover, and they come right back down with a chance to go down by 3.
There's a good 2-on-1 fast break. T-Mac, nothing he can do about the good passing. Here's the turnover from T-Mac, and the Timberwolves run it to perfection. Hassel with a nice finish. I was just going to say before that play that the Rockets need to take advantage of the cold shooting by the Timberwolves and push that lead, but the turnover will take that away.
John Barry on the perimeter. Minnesota's done a pretty good job on McGrady so far. T-Mac turns inside and throws another one away.
7th turnover for the Rockets.
Garnett. So both turnovers turn into Minnesota baskets.
Minute and 40 left in the first half, Bill. Minnesota is starting to get the momentum and get the crowd into the game. The Rockets need a big shot to shut this crowd down.
There's another turnover by Houston. It's tough when you don't even get a shot. Olowokandi. He draws a foul, and that is on Yao Ming, number 3.
Well, we saw that time Yao Ming was aggressive with that defense, and he got called for the foul. So Yao's probably thinking to himself, well, what can I do? Let's watch this post move here. Nice pass. Oh, that's a pass from Yards to the monster dunk by KG. You know, I know what size shoes that Kevin Garnett wears, because when I played against him, I saw the bottoms of them many times. Size 16.
Well, it's nice of you to admit it.
Well, let's watch Olowokandi in the post here, and Yao, he does move up underneath him, and so we know that that doesn't work either. So Yao's going to have to find a happy medium there where he can affect the shot without getting a foul.
Olowokandi just trying to stay healthy this year, 7 years in the NBA. Look at Garnett.
He does not quit, Bill. He plays hard every possession.
Well, the Rockets just frittering this thing away. A 6-0 run by Minnesota. Almost a steal by McGrady on Zerbiak. Zerbiak gets it back. Yarich to Garnett. Somebody catch that ball. Garnett did. Now he tries to make it, and he does.
One of my keys to the game, Bill, was finish the game. That also applies to finish the first half.
Under a minute left to play. An 8-0 run over the last minute by Minnesota, and 3 of those have come on 3 Houston turnovers. 6 of the points. Juwan Howard is open for the jumper, and it goes across the iron. Yarich will pull it out. Great international player. Hassel in the corner. Short. McGrady with 5 rebounds, and that leads the Rockets in rebounding.
Rockets are going to play for the last shot. What you want to do is make sure you get the last shot. You don't want to give Minnesota another chance to score in this half.
Shot clock, game clock just about the same. Down to 4. Oh, he throws it right to Yarich. Yarich shoots it on the line, but this time it doesn't go in. The last 5 possessions, the Rockets threw it away 4 times. Go scoreless the final 3 minutes, while Minnesota scores 8. And that's where we are at halftime. 47-39 T-Wolves. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break. The Rockets had tied the game at 39, then 4 turnovers in a row, and they've got to protect that basketball, Matt.
Turnovers are killing the Rockets. They have 9 to only 2 for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And that's something, that leads to easy baskets.
There's an easy one right there. T-Mac just throws it right to the Timberwolves, and then he compounds his mistake by fouling on the layup. And then T-Mac again gets up in the air. Bad pass. Marco Yarick right in the passing lane. And watch out below. Kevin Garnett is in the house.
Well, the one good stat that I can point out to you, Tracy McGrady has only 1 field goal and 4 turnovers. Somebody's going to pay in the second half, and we hope McGrady gets back in the ball game, and so do the Rockets. We'll be back with the second half. Here are tonight's Bud Light first half stats. Not real pretty if you're a basketball aficionado. A lot of defense. Turnovers 9. Rockets had only 6 until right there in the final minute and a half of that first half. And points in the paint, Rockets getting the job done there. 6 steals by Minnesota. Leading scorers for both teams, Derek Anderson with 7, Garnett with 12, Olowokandi with 8. Matt, the Rockets have got to get Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady in this game offensively, or they have no way to win it.
Well, Tracy's going to have to get some easier shots. I'd like to see him take it to the basket. Yao Ming, on the other hand, I think he's got a huge advantage inside. He just has to wait for his teammates to give him the ball, and I'd like to see his teammates give him a shot here early in the second half so they can get him going.
Well, he has had the ball. He had the ball a lot in the first quarter, but he committed 2 fouls early. Kind of took him out of the game aggressively. There's pressure now by Minnesota to start the third. T-Wolves will have the ball to start the fourth. Down to Yao. That was the touch we talked about. Another turnover.
Yeah, that's a turnover. And Yao needs to not pass that ball.
Good steal. Ray for Alston. Lays it up and in. Great job. Boy, Alston just swooped in. That ball was lazily passed. And that's what happened in the NBA.
Yarick is not necessarily a point guard, so Ray for Alston has a huge quickness advantage over Yarick.
Candy, kind of as an afterthought.
Yeah, he was looking to pass it. Had nowhere to pass it, so he just threw it up there and it went in. When Yao gets the ball inside, he needs to not pass it unless he's double teamed. If they're going to play him one-on-one, he needs to shoot that basketball.
T-Mac short.
Tough shot.
And tipped out of bounds by Minnesota.
Dwayne Casey wide open. He needs to shoot that ball.
He was a defensive player.
Oh, okay.
He was a heck of a player. Played for Joe B. Hall at Kentucky. And assisted there.
Yeah. You could have passed to me. I'm open.
Hey, look, everybody passes to you.
As long as I'm on the court, Bill, I'm in range.
Once a shooter, always a shooter. And a great one. Anderson, shot clock winding down, 5 seconds. Double team. Juwan Howard. You know, the Rockets, and there's Yao Ming, offensive rebound, and he's tackled on the play and goes down hard.
You know, the Vikings are looking for some players that can play football.
Well, they're good at tackling their own coach.
Yeah, good point. Mike Tyson blowing out knee. Yao Ming finds a wet spot on the floor there and slips, and tough shot by Juwan, and Yao able to track that down, but the wet spot. Whoop. Good thing neither player got hurt.
That's a second foul on Kevin Garnett. There's Ray for Alston again going to the basket. I love to see him. He's aggressive now, and he's not making any outside baskets, but he's taking it to the basket.
Well, his jump shot is still not on, but he can score taking the ball to the basket. He's got 7 now for the Rockets.
Does not have an assist. In fact, the Rockets have only 8, but they're not making a lot. There's Garnett with a miss and a late whistle.
How about that whistle?
Boy, Yao really upset. That's about as demonstrative as I've seen him ever.
And Yao has something. He has something to argue about. See, that's 4 fouls on Yao just standing there. Watch Yao. He's set, and Garnett jumps into him, and the whistle blows now. That's just a terrible call. I don't care if Kevin Garnett is a former MVP in this league. That is not a foul on Yao Ming.
Well, I guess this is what we alluded to earlier. Monty McCutcheon was waiting to see if it went in. If it went in, he wasn't going to call a foul. And If it didn't, so he did. So is it or isn't it?
It's not a foul. That Yao Ming is 7'6". He has an advantage when he's out on the court. If he stands straight up and down and a player can't make a shot over him, don't penalize Yao for being 7'6".
Good point. I'm sending that argument to the league.
Think they'll listen to me?
No. 51-43. Did they when you played?
No.
Probably hasn't changed it. Rockets have to go to work now. Double team on McGrady. They're going to double team him every shot out of the basket. That means you got to make one from the outside, and another miss by Houston. The Rockets now are 0 for 4 from behind the arc. Double team on Kevin Garnett, and 3 seconds called on Olowokandi.
That might be the longest that Olowokandi's ever been in the lane in his whole career.
You're cold-blooded. You've seen him play. I remember when the Clippers hired Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to work with him. Remember that? Yeah, several years ago. Yeah, takes it to the basket. Nice offensive move by Yao Ming. He has 7.
And I love that about Yao. He doesn't back down. You know, he got a bad call and he just went right down to the other end of the court and made a nice aggressive move.
Trenton Hassel. Back over to Yarick. Zerbiak. 7 on the shot clock. Zerbiak shoots up a jumper. Good defense by Houston, but again another long rebound. And Yarick will back it up.
Timberwolves had 10 second chance points in the first half. That's too many. Another opportunity here.
Hassel, tough shot, baseline.
The thing about the Rockets right now is they're not shooting the ball well, so they don't have a big margin for error. Foul on Olowokandi.
Yeah, that was a quick whistle, wasn't it? That's the 3rd foul on Olowokandi.
Let's watch Yao on the post. Nice pump fake. See, he takes 2 nice crab dribbles in there and uses his power and his length to score. Yao's post game has improved immensely here this year.
Well, he's worked with Tom Thibodeau a lot on his post-up game. You would think it would be Patrick Ewing, but Thibodeau's done the majority of the work with Yao. Here's Rafer Alston back out now. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Eric Anderson rushes one up. Offensive rebound. Juwan says, I'm not going to wait because that's my shot.
And that was probably the best shot the Rockets have seen in a while. That little 10-foot jumper wide open. And Juwan, a smart veteran, says, I'm going to just knock this one down.
7's a while for the Rockets. Howard, Yao, Anderson, and Alston all with 7 apiece. 53-47 now. Rockets creeping back in it, down by 6. Going to be a turnover. Juwan's got it. Gives it up to Rafer Alston. And Juwan's still tied up. Down at the other end, and McGrady scores while Garnett and Juwan Howard are playing footsies at the other end.
They were both sitting on the floor, both holding each other down, so neither one could get into the play. And while they were messing around on the court.
That reminded me, remember that year Rodman and the mailman, Karl Malone, got into it during the NBA playoffs. These two got tangled up at the other end. We'll show it to you in a minute when we come back, but the Rockets have gotten a little closer. So Yarick will start it off now for the T-Wolves. Over to Garnett. Rockets on a 6-2 run the last minute 40. They want Yarick to work on Rafer Alston. They pass instead to the corner to Hassel. He hits. He has improved his shot a lot. When he first came up with the Chicago Bulls, he wasn't much of a shooter, but he's got more playing time here in Minnesota and more opportunities.
He's found his spot there in the corner, and Wally Zerbiak actually is passing it to him.
Down to Yao Ming. Now working it inside. Nice move as he sandwiched and got out of that sandwich. 9 points for Yao.
Yeah, go back to that. They cannot stop Yao one-on-one. Just let Yao keep scoring until they double team him.
And when Olowokandi picked up his 3rd foul, Matt, he looks a little less aggressive than he was earlier. Yarick to the basket. And they're going to call a foul on Rafer Alston.
Rafer Alston looked like he fouled Yarick right on the basketball. Let's watch Kevin Garnett and Juwan Howard down here. Looks like that was, 2 points for the takedown there. And then, I'm trying to get up. No, look, he's holding me down. No, ref, what's going on here?
Well, Juwan's the one that had the leg on top. What's he talking about?
Like 2 points for the takedown and 2 points for the reversal.
That was pretty good, huh? Yeah. I think in the off season they ought to look at WWF.
That would be quite a sight. 2 7-footers wrestling in that.
57-51, T-Wolves. Rockets have never had the lead. They tied it at 39, but never could get on top. Grady having trouble getting going here. Yeah, there we go. Jump shot by T-Mac. It's only his 3rd basket of the game. Rockets now have hit their last 4 shots. Zerbiak on a short jumper. He can get it in that paint area, and of course, that's the red zone, isn't it? That 15-foot in.
Yeah, well, that's the Rockets try to keep players from penetrating into the middle there, and that time Wally Zerbiak strolled right in and shot a little jump shot.
T-Mac goes to his left, and he'll shoot 2. They talk about the red zone in football being from the 20-yard line in. I call it, talking to Jeff Van Gundy, he calls the red zone 15 feet in around that paint area.
Sort of the key.
Yeah. And Jeff believes if you can shut down that red zone or the key area, you're going to win a lot of basketball games. That's where most of the points come from.
He also feels that that's one of his team's biggest weaknesses is allowing dribble penetration, especially from the guard position. That time, Wally Zerbiak, not necessarily a guard, was able to penetrate into that red zone and score.
So T-Mac now with a couple of free throws. He's perfect from the line, 6 of 6. 12 points for Tracy. And again, a 4-point lead by Minnesota. T-Mac comes out on Zerbiak. Zerbiak back to Hassel. 5 on the shot clock. And Yao Ming with a foul. Is it Yao or somebody else? Everybody's raising their hands for the Rockets.
Everyone's trying to take that foul for Yao. That's that dribble penetration that we've been talking about. We'll watch it here. The dribble penetration, Hassel drives in there, and then Yao is the last line of defense.
Anderson.
Yep. And when we force Yao, who's 7'6", to move across the lane to pick up drivers, that's not his strength, and he will pick up fouls very quickly.
Crowd wanted it called on Yao Ming, but you could see Anderson reach in just before Yao made contact.
And Anderson doing the smart thing and raising his hand and forcing the official to call it on.
6-point game again. Alston on the attack for the Rockets. Rockets trying to get back in this. Can't quite climb the hill. Yao again. And a bump. Now they're really starting to tighten. They let Minnesota get away with murder in the first half. Now when they touch Yao, they're whistling a foul.
Well, all the more reason to go back to him. If you can start scoring from the free throw line,
that's easier. 14 foul, Matt. So the next whistle on the T-Wolves, Rockets will be in the bonus.
Go back to him.
And there it is. Olowokandi with his 4th foul of the game, and Yao Ming will be at the line to shoot 1+. 15 foul on Minnesota.
Minnesota starting to double team Yao, but Yao can still score with his height. The double team comes, it doesn't necessarily have to make him pass the ball.
Isn't it funny how the tempo of refereeing changes to the side of the aggressor? The Rockets have become the aggressive team, and now they're getting the calls. How does that happen?
It's in the rule book, Bill.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I missed that.
You didn't read that?
No, I didn't.
Houston has scored on the last 7 possessions, Bill. They have gotten more aggressive in it, and it's one of those things about basketball. If you're the aggressor, you start getting calls. I don't know why it is.
What chapter is that?
Right at the end, basically.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's why I missed it. 61-57. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Zerbiak trying to take it inside over the smaller Alston. They got the switch they wanted. Size advantage to Minnesota. And Zerbiak with 10 points. 14 for Garnett. Olowokandi with 2. Now trying to fight for position. They won't give it to him. And the foul on Yao. Garnett initially came out to stop the penetration of Alston, and when he backed off, Yarick hadn't caught up yet.
Rafer doing a good job of getting his defender on his side and taking it in. We'll watch him as Yarick tries to get squared up on him. Alston drives right by him, and Yarick gets called for the hand check.
You know, Rafer struggling. We've documented the fact that he's struggling with his shooting. Alston shooting only 30% since joining the Rockets. He's 3 of 7 tonight. The thing that troubles me a little bit, he has no assist tonight. So there's Tracy McGrady going out of the game.
Well, I think if Rafer would take the ball to the basket, his shooting percentage would go up, as will his assist, because as teams come over to try to stop his penetration, he can dish off to the guys that can score. Rafer doesn't need to be sent out there shooting jump shots when his jumper's not going in.
4:20 left to play. Mad Dog Matson in the game. He gave it up. Zerbiak to the basket, missed it. Yao Ming with a rebound, had it knocked away. Wesley's got it. David Wesley in the game with Derek Anderson. Rafer Alston. Juwan Howard. Yao Ming gets down on the block. Alston, good pass. Look to shoot. 10 seconds still on the shot clock. They want Juwan to work over Mad Dog, and he does.
That was a good job by Rafer of running that offense, getting Juwan the shot that he wanted.
3-point lead now by Minnesota. Yarick down to Garnett. Garnett has the ball knocked away. Great defense by Juwan Howard. Up ahead to Anderson. Anderson will pull up for the 15-footer, hits it, and the Rockets are down by only 1.
Ooh, that was a tough shot by Derek Anderson. Those little mid-range 10 to 15-footers on the side of the hoop. Tough to gauge the range. He was able to knock that one down.
Yarick to the basket, and another foul on Yao Ming. You see, Matt, this is why I would just go ahead and go for the shooter. He's backing off and being called for the foul. He's not aggressive.
Let's watch
up.
The dribble penetration, and Yao is not over there quick enough. And so if he's not over there to get in front of the driver, he needs to go ahead and try to block the shot, because he's not affecting the shot by trying to draw the charge, and Yao's going to have to take a seat.
I just like to see him take a big swat at it.
Yep.
Keep the guy from coming in there. You knock him down, he might think twice the next time he comes driving in the lane.
That's a good point there, too.
That's the 5th foul, so Yao Ming will have to sit down.
He's got 5?
Yep. But Tumbo is in the game. And they've all come, 4 of the 5 have come on that
dribble penetration.
That dribble penetration, yep. And not being aggressive with the block.
Well, 4 of the 5 fouls have come on guys that are not his man. So a lot of that falls on the outer defense of the Rockets to try to protect Yao inside.
Rockets now have scored on the last 10 possessions. They want to keep that going with either a free throw or a field goal. And they came to an end. 65-62, T-Wolves under 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Dupree sets a pick and a blocking foul on Dupree. Crowd doesn't like it. And he better not say anything to David Jones. We'll be back with more in a moment. It's time to check on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. And Yao Ming has been in foul trouble since the first 2 minutes of the game. When he has been active, though, he's been active.
Yep, Yao's made some real nice moves. He's got a real good touch, getting the ball to drop in there. And here's a nice post move. Yao, a little pump fake and then drive to the middle. Uses his power, able to get that ball to go in. When Yao takes his time on the post, he's able to make something good happen. I think that we should be going back to Yao when he comes back in the game.
Well, right now the Rockets down by 3 points. Rafer Alston turns the corner, sets up Derek Anderson. Derek with a little head fake, got open, missed the jumper, follows it alertly, swings in the air for 2. Good hustle, Derek Anderson.
Yep. DA's been struggling with his jump shot as well so far this season, but good job of following his own shot.
All right, a 1-point game. 2:15 left to play in the 3rd. McCants in the game, great move. He's 6'4", and he's pretty strong. Wesley repositions and didn't want to take the shot. Now he sets. Three-pointer. David Wesley hits. Boy, we need him.
Yep. We need D-Dub to start hitting some shots, and that was Rafer Alston again. Got an assist on that one. Good job by Rafer penetrating the defense, finding the open shooter.
They're going to go right back to McCants again on Wesley. Game is tied up. That was the first three-pointer made by Houston tonight, and Hudson puts Minnesota back on top.
Hudson with a nice pump fake, little penetration. Rafer got out of position on that one.
Hudson's one of those streak shooters. He gets on a roll. He's tough to stop. There's Derek Anderson. No hesitation. He misses, and McCants with the rebound. Rashad McCants. And a whistle. That foul is called on Juwan Howard. It's the fifth team foul on the Rockets. Both teams in the penalty. So Matson will shoot.
Maybe Mark Madsen should go to the skills camp and learn how to shoot free throws. He's 1 for 7 this season so far. Watch this. Watch out. Get a hard hat on rebound on that one.
That's why they call him Mad Dog. 69-67, a 2-point lead by the T-Wolves. Garnett's on the bench. Griffin comes in for him. Juwan Howard from the wing. Misses. And Dupree with a rebound. Eddie Griffin out high over to Matson. Hudson's the offensive guy. You got a double team. And McCants with a three. That was an ill-advised shot and a loose ball foul. That's what Matson does well.
Yep.
He'll go to that basketball and rebound, and Mutombo is called for the foul, but the bad news is Matson has to go back to the line.
Got a little good news, bad news there. Matson with a nice hustle play, got the rebound. Bad news is he's going to the free throw line.
Matson was very popular when he played out in L.A. his first 3 seasons with the Lakers. He always got in garbage time.
Looks like he learned how to shoot his free throws from Shaq.
Now he's a 56% career free throw shooter.
He's 1 for 10 so far this season. If my math is correct, that's 10%.
Now it is. Now it's lower than that.
Is that 8.6 or
So
something?
that's close enough. So the Rockets, because of Matson, now could have the final possession. About a 3-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. Alston on the drive. Picks out Wesley. Little head fake. He was really struggling. Down to 1 second. McCants gets it off in time short. So here we go to the final period of play from cold Minneapolis. And both teams pretty cold. The T-Wolves 69, the Rockets 67. Welcome back to the Target Center in Minneapolis, where the Houston Rockets have clawed their way back into this game. It hasn't been pretty, but Bill Worrell along with Matt Bullard, good to have you folks with us for the final 12 minutes. Rockets shooting 47%. McGrady with only 12 points. Garnett with only 14. So those two have been shut down effectively, and it's what the others can do that's going to make the difference, man.
In the third quarter, Houston 11 for 20. Minnesota 7 of 11.
All right, Snowmile Swift in the game right on the backside of Griffin. Giving it up to Hudson now. Hudson will shoot it. Good defense by Rafer. Shot clock is still running. 4 seconds, and Eddie Griffin hits. Big basket by Eddie as the shot clock was running down. He has 5 points. Rafer on the wing, giving it up to McGrady. T-Mac. It's a double team. Matson, good defense. Comes over to help out Dupree. Shot clock down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. McGrady gets open and hits.
McGrady time.
Well, I hope
Fourth
so.
quarter.
He had 20 points in New Jersey in the fourth quarter. If he has it here tonight, the Rockets can steal one. Rockets looking for Eddie Griffin to come out to set a pick. 7 on the shot clock. Ball has stopped moving. Good defense by Swift. Almost got the steal. McCants sets up Griffin, and a 24-second violation on Minnesota.
Griffin had no chance. That time he had Strohmeyer Swift running at him, and then the second wave of defense was Mutombo. He knew if he shot that ball up, he was going to swat it into the stands.
Well, Minnesota stopped it at the perimeter. They really did not have good ball movement on that possession, and now the Rockets will try to tie this game up. Could take the lead with a 3. McGrady goes for the tie, off the glass, missed it, tipped up by Mutombo, tipped again. And Matson out of there with the ball.
Oh.
And a foul on Dupree.
David Wesley took a hard charge that time.
That was pretty close.
I think
Waddle Dupree.
Yeah, David Wesley's a tough guy, but let's watch here. Dupree is running full speed, and David didn't necessarily have his feet down. But there was a lot of contact there. Watch out. Ooh, ouch.
So Alston will bring it up. Rockets with another chance to tie. Houston has never had the lead. McGrady, Swift, inside to Mutombo, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 2 and a chance to tie this game for the deep. And Matson with a foul. Matson, a high energy guy.
Like I said, let's watch all this great ball movement. Nice pass from Strohmeyer, but here comes Matson out of nowhere to hammer down on Mutombo. Matson's that guy that you love to have on your team, but you hate to play against him.
Deke's never going to put the ball on the floor. He just kind of hangs around. Everybody jumps around him.
Well, Matson saying, hey, I'm okay. I'm not trying to hurt anybody here. I'll just play hard.
One more from Mutombo. Rockets staying in it from the free throw line. 19 of 25 for Houston. 22 of 30. Now, this is a lot of free throws from Minnesota. Minnesota, one of the teams in the NBA that doesn't get to the line very much. So both teams getting to the free throw line more than they normally do. This game is tied at 71. Let's see if the Rockets can get over the hump now. Ronald Dupree to Hudson. Hudson got inside the defense. Quick shot. Good defense by Houston, and Mutombo with a rebound. Giving it up to T-Mac. Rockets now with a chance to get their first lead of the game. T-Mac goes for the 3, and he is fouled. He'll get 3 free throws.
The crowd doesn't like it, but that's a good call. I have always said, as a shooter, if you get fouled before you touch the ground, if you get hit before you touch the ground, there's the contact. It's got to be a foul. Now, of course, they never listen to me, but they'll call it for Tracy McGrady. It's always been my stance that you're in the shot until you touch the ground. And that time, T-Mac, there was contact before he touched the ground, and so he'll be shooting 3 free throws.
The Rockets have never led. They got the game to within 39 with about 3 minutes to play in the first half, and then had trouble possessing the basketball and allowed Minnesota to take the halftime lead.
The Rockets have spent a lot of energy getting back to this point in this game. With 9:36 left in the game, let's hope they still have enough left in the tank to get this lead and get this win. T-Mac 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
I'll wait till after he makes this.
Yeah. Very difficult to shoot 3 free throws in a row.
He's a perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line.
Thank you for waiting on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I can jinx the best of them. And the Rockets now, first lead of the game, and it's a 3-point lead. No, Matson won't shoot it. Clinton Hassel giving it up to McCants. McGrady right up on Rashad McCants. Turnover. John Barry's got the ball, giving it up to T-Mac. T-Mac goes up with the jumper and misses, and Barry tips it outside, and Wesley comes away with it. And a fresh 24 for Houston.
Rockets had an opportunity on the fast break that time, but good job of possessing the ball.
Strohmeyer Swift. Yes! And McGrady gets the assist, and the Rockets with 5 unanswered points to take the lead by 5. And Kevin Garnett is still on the bench, isn't he? Inside. And Matson is fouled. And why not?
That's a good foul there, but you mentioned KG on the bench. There he is.
When the Rockets got back in the first half, he was on the bench. Now they've got a lead. We have a timeout.
Well, while KG was out, he was out for 4 minutes and 34 seconds there straight. The Rockets went on a 9-2 run. So here comes KG.
Well, the franchise can't sit out very often because the problem you have is if Griffin comes in for you, Eddie is not playing that much defense, and so Eddie Griffin has sat down. You know, that never worked out. It's too bad. He's really a pretty good kid, but Rockets traded 3 number 1s to get Eddie, and he just was physically mature, but not mature off the court. Never could get his life together in Houston. It never worked out. He's trying to find his way here, and he has bursts of good play, but we'll see if Matson can hit any free throws here.
Well, you mentioned that Eddie Griffin struggled off the court, and Matson makes one.
Place goes crazy.
But Kevin Garnett and Tracy McGrady are two of the guys who jumped straight from high school to the NBA, who are great role models for the youngsters in this league. So hopefully Kevin Garnett can get Eddie Griffin on the straight and narrow.
Well, Eddie did play 1 year at Seton.
Yep.
Probably should have stayed a couple more. All right, that's 2 points now for Matson. Didn't expect that, did you?
2 straight from Matson.
Brady. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They got a double team on him. Barry hoops it inside to Swift. Mutombo puts it up. And the 24-second violation on the Rockets.
Well, you might wonder how many minutes did Kevin Garnett not play in this game up to now. Well, he sat out 8 minutes total in this game. The Rockets are plus 14 during that time when Kevin Garnett was not in the game. You think the Timberwolves rely on KG for everything?
Yes.
That's that proves it.
If they were a hockey team, that would really be a big stat. 8:05 left to play. Hassel pops outside, looks for Garnett. Swift giving him a little room. Garnett will shoot and miss it. Now that's the way to play him, I think. You got to make him hit that jump shot.
Well, and he can hit it, but that's probably the best percentage play right there.
McGrady misses. Tracy a little short on all of his shots tonight. He's 4 of 13 from the field, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. 7:35 left to play in the game. All right, they want to go to Garnett again. And a whistle away from the ball. Dikembe Mutombo called for the foul.
Mutombo's called for clogging the lane, not letting any cutters get through there.
Let's see, that's 2 team fouls now in the Rockets. The Wolves have 2. There's 7:25 left. They're going to go right back to Garnett. That's the part of the game where he'll see it almost every possession. Garnett to the basket. Mutombo made him pass it off to Hudson. That's why he's so dangerous, because Garnett is such a terrific passer. He averages over 5 assists a game. And we're tied up.
Kevin Garnett and Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain, the only 3 players in the league. As John Barry misses a 3.
Swift with a fake, puts it up and in. That draws the foul from Garnett. What a big move by Stromile Swift. The reason the Rockets went and got him in the offseason.
Let's watch John Barry misses the 3. Stromile, tough rebound inside. Nice pump fake. Gets the foul and the hoop.
The Rockets lack that athleticism that he brings, and that came over Garnett. Not too many people have the athletic ability to do that to Kevin Garnett. Now let's see if Stroh can get the 3-point play, and he does. Rockets now 24 of 30 from the free throw line. And the Rockets bump it back to a 3-point lead. 6:47 left to play. Garnett in the open court. And a foul on Swift. Stromile Swift has picked up his third foul of the game. And it's the third team foul on the Rockets. Both teams with one more to give before they get in the penalty.
Well, I found that stat I was trying to tell you. Kevin Garnett, Larry Bird, and Wilt Chamberlain, the only players in the league to average more than 20 points, more than 10 rebounds, and more than 5 assists in a season.
Garnett takes it up to the basket, and a foul on Mutombo.
And Garnett has done it 6 straight seasons.
Well, they call that foul on Swift. And that's number 4 on Stromile Swift.
Yeah, Stromile was reaching in. Could have been Mutombo as well.
Problem, well, Garnett not shooting it that well from the free throw line. 69% so far this season. It's a perfect 5 of 5 tonight. That may be the most free throws by Minnesota this season, 33.
Yep. Minnesota is not known as a team that goes to the free throw line a lot, but they've gotten a whole bunch tonight.
Well, they've missed 9 free throws. Rockets have missed 6. If you win by a couple of points, that'll be the difference. 2-point lead by Houston. John Barry from the corner rims it out. Olowa Candy with a rebound. Garnett inside. Jump hook for 2 and ties it up at 79.
That was a great pass by Trenton Hassel. Led Garnett right to the hoop. When Kevin gets the ball down that low, you can't stop it.
McGrady gets a pick from Mutombo. Olowa Candy picks him up on the perimeter. Swift. And that fake kept Mutombo in the lane. And they called a 3-second violation on Dikembe. 5:42 left to play in the game. We're all tied up at 79. .542 left to play. Doesn't get any easier. The Rockets have to play San Antonio Thursday night, Detroit Friday night, Indiana Sunday night. Garnett gets it, takes it in on Yao, draws a foul, basket count.
Who's the foul on? It's on.
Well, Wesley raised his hand. I don't know.
Another great post pass, and Wesley is reaching in there trying to foul him. And David raises his hand quickly to make sure that the foul was not called on Yao.
So Swift will go out. Juwan Howard will come in. Rafer Alston will come in for Wesley. So it'll be Yao, Howard, Berry, Alston, and McGrady.
What was my third key before the game, Bill?
Finish.
The Rockets were tied. Now they're going to be down 3.
6 straight points by Kevin Garnett. So you talked about the Rockets making up 14 points while he was on the bench, but that rest obviously had him feeling pretty good when he came back out.
The Rockets used up a lot of energy trying to get back in this game. Will they have enough to finish this game?
Right for Alston. Tough bounce pass. Barry saves it. 3 seconds left. Going to go in the backcourt. And Tracy throws it up. And it would have counted, but that's going to be a 24-second violation on Houston.
The Rockets must get a shot on every possession. They cannot turn the ball over. In the second half, Minnesota's turned the ball over 9 times. This led to 12 Houston points. The Rockets only 2. Actually, that was the third one right there in the second half for the Rockets.
Inside of 5 minutes left to play, 15 on the shot clock. Garnett going right back up to his post-up position. Turns, fires, misses. Finally, Rockets have to secure the rebound. McGrady does. Tracy with 7 rebounds in this game. McGrady to the basket for 2.
Great ball control that time. McGrady went in there strong, looking to dunk it. Knew he didn't have enough height and just rolled it in.
1-point lead by Minnesota. Hudson turns the corner. Missed the jump shot. McGrady kept it alive and got the rebound. That's number 8 for T-Mac. He's got 19 points and 8 rebounds. And another turnover by Houston.
See Jeff Van Gundy giving his troops an encouragement. Turnovers will kill you down the stretch, but Jeff Van Gundy trying to keep his troops positive.
Rockets, had 10 turnovers in the half. They've only turned it over 4 times in the second half. 4:05 left.
That's a big reason why the Rockets were able to get back in this game.
Double team on Hudson. He'll get it right back. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Garnett from 15. He's been the man.
That's tough to stop right there, Bill.
Garnett with the last 8 points scored by Minnesota. He's got 22. 3:40 left to play. Yao posting up on Garnett. Yao takes it over Garnett and goaltending on Olowokandi.
Yao takes a shot in the mouth after he shot that one.
Took a little shot on the jaw.
Yao doesn't even know. Oh, yeah, got him right across the forearm, across the jaw, and Yao didn't even know what the call was. Let's see, Olowokandi does goaltend and then comes down with the right forearm.
A TKO.
When Yao got up, he didn't know what the call was. His teammates had to tell him it was goaltending and the basket counted.
Back to a 1-point lead by the T-Wolves. Down to Olowokandi inside. He shoots it over Yao, misses, tipped out of bounds by Minnesota. So the Rockets now with a chance to take another lead. 3:11 left. Game going right down to the wire. Hope you're enjoying it on FSN Houston. We'll have most of the Rockets games for you this season. Jeff Van Gundy wants a timeout to talk it over. Each possession golden down the stretch. 3:07 left to play. Starting to heat up now in the Target Center. Yao Ming takes it to the basket over Olowokandi and he misses. Juwan Howard with the offensive rebound, and the Rockets get a fresh 24. 2:55 left to play in the game. T-Mac will have the basketball. Rockets trying to regain the lead. Juwan Howard on the drive, and Garnett with the foul. That's the 5th foul on Kevin Garnett.
That was a good job of the Rockets. They ran their play out of the timeout. Didn't get anything. Were able to get the offensive rebound. Good job by the Rockets to set up and get another very good look at the basket.
14 seconds on the shot clock for Houston. McGrady. Whoa, what a tough shot. Woo! And Tracy McGrady gives the Rockets the lead. 21 points for McGrady, 22 for Garnett, so the 2 superstars now going head-to-head. Hudson. Back to Zerbiak, will fire up a 3. Ooh, that's way off the mark. And Yao Ming with a rebound. That's his 5th. 6th. McGrady again on the outside. Hassel picks him up. Nice pass to Ray for Alston. McGrady gets a beautiful assist. Rockets up by 3. Looking down to Garnett again. Garnett just puts his head down. Yao comes over to help out. Hassel in the deep corner. He's trapped. Trying to get it out of there. That's a steal by McGrady. He's got to beat Zerbiak. McGrady lays it off to Alston. Another beautiful pass by T-Mac. And Alston with 4 points in a row. The Rockets using defense to try to seal the deal here tonight. And the Rockets with their biggest lead of the game on a 6-0 run.
Tracy McGrady going in, knows he doesn't have anything to go. And how does he see Rafer Alston out of the corner of his eye? Here it is again. T-Mac laying in the weeds and steals that pass. How on earth does he know to drop that off to Rafer Alston? Unbelievable.
Well, the
He's
line.
not even looking.
No, the line on McGrady. Matt, he's got 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And the Rockets have picked a great time to do what you wanted them to do. This was one of your keys to the game. It was finish.
Finish the game, and the Rockets have done an excellent job of taking care of the basketball, getting good shots. Of course, the 3-point shot from Tracy McGrady was unbelievable. And the Rockets getting it done also on the defensive end. And let's watch T-Mac. Nice pass inside. to Rayford, and Rayford, nice little reverse.
Tough layup.
Yeah, reverse spin that time for Rayford. And good to see Rayford getting that ball down low and getting it to go in.
Yeah, Rayford's season high is 15 points. He's got 12 tonight. 11 for Anderson, 13 for Yao, 21 for McGrady. And Howard's played very sound down the stretch, too. Juwan Howard has come in and solidified that position after Stromile Swift did a good job. But there's the man right there. He's doing it on both ends of the court.
Minute 38 left. The Rockets are up by 5. They've got to play good defense, so they don't want to foul.
Let me guess what Minnesota's going to do.
They're going to go to Kevin Garnett. Is that your guess?
Yeah, that was my guess.
The last 6 possessions, Houston has scored on 5. Minnesota only 1.
All right. Minute and a half left to play. Hudson will put the ball in play. Garnett comes out high. Zerbiak back to Hudson. 12 on the shot clock. Garnett with the seal. Goes into Yao. No whistle this time. There was contact. They've been calling that foul on Yao. This time they let it go.
Well, they finally called it right, Bill. Another chance for a good possession here for the Rockets.
T-Mac misses on the 3. And Zerbiak with the rebound. To Garnett again. He'll give it up to Hudson. Under a minute left to play. Garnett back to Hudson again.
Rockets playing great defense.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Hudson leans in. This is the three-point attempt. It goes out of bounds. Houston's ball. The Rockets are everywhere on defense, Matt. This is beautiful.
They have turned the intensity up here in the last 5 minutes of the game on both ends of the court. That's how you finish basketball games.
Now you protect it, right? You got a 5-point lead. They've got to come after the basketball.
40 seconds left to go ahead and run that shot clock down all the way. You still want to get a good shot.
D-Mac. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a pick from Yao. Tracy rises up, and that ball is short. Garnett's got it. Hudson to Zerbiak. And he misses on a 3. And Alston with the rebound. And all he's got to do is hold on with 15 seconds left to play. Over the last 4 minutes, the Rockets have held Minnesota scoreless.
Wow. That is Rockets defense at its best. Turn the intensity up when it really counts. Minnesota has looked lost out there on their offensive end. They are 1 of their last 8 possessions.
You know, this looks like that Monday Night Football game last night. Philadelphia wins the entire game. Dallas wins at the end. You know, Dwayne Casey, this is going to be a tough loss to take because they have led the entire game. Come on now, you got to make your free throws. Rafer's got one more.
There's only one thing in life that's free, Bill.
Yeah, Rockets could have, those 2 free throws could have given them a 7-point lead. Now, you got to make this one. Make it 6.
Still a 2-possession game. Game is not over.
Well, you got to be proud of your Rockets because this is one of those hard-fought games. You didn't shoot the ball as well as you'd like, but you did a lot of little things to win.
Well, that's no question, Bill. I mean, the Rockets came off of a very bad game in Boston, just got blown out by the Celtics, came in here to Minnesota, did not get off to a good start at all. We're stuck on 2 points for about the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. Really, we're not shooting the ball well, shooting 46% now, so they've gotten a lot better, but that's a testament to staying with the game plan, staying with the offense, and finally getting some shots to fall.
Now, Matt, let me ask you about your superstar, because when you look at Tracy McGrady, he's 6 for 18, so on the surface you would say, well, he didn't play a good game. He had 5 turnovers tonight, but the crucial possessions down the stretch, he accounted for 6 points either with his passing or his shooting.
Yeah, that's the thing about Tracy McGrady is he did shoot 6 for 18, but he was 9 for 9 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He can affect the game on both ends of the court. I'm not sure how many steals he has. Looks like they have him down for only 1, but...
And that came just a moment ago.
Let's watch T-Mac this quarter, all the things he's done. That's a 3-point shot that it was just sick. He had 2 people on him right there. Nice pass inside. These are the things that Tracy McGrady can do. And I watch this defense. And then this pass on the end of this play, I have no idea how he saw Rafer coming in there for that layup. Those are the types of things that Tracy McGrady can do to affect the game. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he still was able to carry his team and get the things done at the end of the game that really mattered.
And Garnett stepped up for his team, but it wasn't enough as McGrady, the two superstars, stepped up. McGrady had a little more help.
And that's exactly right. Yao has 13, Derek Anderson 11, Rafer Alston a nice game with 13 points, Stromile Swift with 10. So the Rockets were able to find some guys to play with Tracy McGrady tonight. Kevin Garnett not having as many teammates in the game.
All right, Zerbiak takes it to the basket for two. They didn't want to give up three. Now you got to get the ball in and get it to McGrady. Will hold on to it. And Zerbiak fouls him with 9 seconds left. T-Mac will go to the line. So the plan is now score as quickly as you can and hope the Rockets, the only way the Rockets can lose is to miss their free throws.
2 free throws here that should seal the game. If he doesn't make either one of them, though, it's still a 4-point game. Crazier things have happened, Bill.
Yep.
Remember San Antonio last year? Tracy McGrady, 13 points, 35 seconds.
How can you forget? McGrady a perfect 10 for 10 from the line. Tonight's Landry signature group player of the game will be Tracy McGrady, who has 22. We hope it's 23 points, 10 in the fourth quarter, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. There it is.
We got a present, didn't we, Bill?
11 of 11 from the free throw line for T-Mac. In the fourth quarter, 3 of 7, 3 assists, 10 points, 11 points. John Barry just deposited his gum over here on our stat sheet.
You want it? I'll take it if you don't want it.
Not particularly.
That's a pretty big wad of gum, too. I'm not sure how you can play with
Is that classless or what? Wait till I talk to John Barry. That's terrible. Look at this.
How do you
Look
play
at this,
with,
fans. Where's that camera?
Right. How do you play with that much gum in your mouth?
Is that the worst? Is that the worst thing you've ever seen?
Let me telestrate this.
Yeah, telestrate that. John
Barry's gum.
Yeah.
We'll just do this on his face.
That's right. My goodness. I know
that is a big wad of gum.
I know his mama did a better job than that. All right, it's 92-86. Rockets with a chance to get out of here with a victory. Garnett will fire up a three. He does it all. Three-pointer for Kevin Garnett. Isn't he something?
Never quits, Bill.
That's his first three-point attempt this season.
Yeah, he hasn't missed yet. If I was him, I'd shoot more.
Throw a whistle and a foul. 3.3 left. KG has hit 11 of his last 13 points. 11 of the last 13 for Minnesota, and he will come out of the game. He's coming out because he's got 5 fouls. So McGrady, all Tracy has to do is make one. Is that not correct, Matt?
One would be nice.
Two would be better. 11 of 11 from the free throw line for Tracy McGrady. Three seconds left. Just back off. He gave it to McCants, and the basket will not count. So a great comeback by the Houston Rockets in the fourth quarter, outscoring Minnesota to come from behind. The T-Wolves led most of the game. The Rockets came back to win it 94-89. Tune in for our next telecast Friday night. Rockets will host the Detroit Pistons. Coverage begins at 8:30 on TV 51. Stay tuned. The Busch Light Southwest Sports Report is next.
To Minneapolis we go. Target Center, the site for this one tonight. Kevin Garnett averaging about 21 and 11 coming into tonight's game. Second quarter, Rockets down by 3. Yao Ming on the block, and Yao going up strong and scoring. He would get into foul trouble, though. Game was tied at 39. The T-Wolves, though, would finish on an 8-0 run to start for the second half, and they took the lead at the break off the steal. Wally Zerbiak inside it.
That is high percentage. Kevin Garnett with the throwdown. 47-39 was the halftime score. Third quarter, Rockets trailing by 3 until David Wesley dialed in from big distance. Rockets' first 3 of the game ties the game at 67. Fourth quarter, we're tied at 79. Kevin Garnett drawing the foul and one. T-Wolves go up by 3, 82-79, but from then on, it was all Rockets all the time. Up by 1, Rafer Alston to the hoop. That's a pretty lay-in. Rockets doing what they need to do down the stretch. They outscore the Timberwolves 24-17 in the fourth quarter as they come away with the win. T-Wolves led by 5 after 1 by 8 at halftime, but the Rockets 28-22 in the third, and then 24-17 in the fourth as they come from behind and get a very sweet victory on the road tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The first time this season the T-Wolves have lost at the Target Center. Without further ado, let's head to Minneapolis, Minnesota as we join the gentleman who called tonight's ball game. It was a great defensive effort tonight for the Rockets, I thought.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And, of course, Matt alluded to it earlier. When you have a chance to put the Rockets away, you better do it like Boston did the other night. When you let the Rockets hang around and they have a Tracy McGrady, you can see what could happen to you.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady, one of the best players in the league, had taken over the game, putting his team on his shoulders. Once again, a great performance in the fourth quarter for T-Mac. I really thought that the Rockets did a great job of finishing this game. That was one of my keys before the game. Got to finish the game. The Rockets did everything right in the fourth quarter.
And the Rockets outscored the T-Wolves 27-20 in that fourth quarter. And Tracy McGrady was a perfect 12 of 12 from the free throw line. He had a couple of key assists to Rafer Alston.
And those are the things you need to do to win basketball games. You've got to make your free throws down the stretch. You've got to make good passes. You can't turn the ball over. Tracy McGrady also a couple steals in the fourth quarter. So everything that he was doing was right. His teammates just followed him to the victory.
Now, Kevin Garnett was just as brilliant on the other end, but he had no help. Zerbiak had a couple of wide open looks. He didn't make a basket.
Yeah, Wally's been struggling this year. He's not a big shot type of guy. He can put the ball in the basket, but Kevin Garnett, he plays hard every night, Bill. But they've got to find some players here in Minnesota that will play with Kevin Garnett.
Well, the good news, bad news, the Rockets didn't shoot it as well, although they did improve in the fourth quarter, but they got the win. That's the important thing now as you head to San Antonio.
Yeah, no one's going to look back at this game and say it was ugly. They're just going to see a W, and that's all that matters.
All right, so Kevin, the Rockets get a win here on the road as they head back to Texas to take on San Antonio on Thursday night.
We head back to the Target Center. Here's what Jeff Van Gundy had to say.
Will fight, the whole list.
Well, I thought Jawan worked real hard and on defense, which set a great tone, and I thought Deke gave us some good minutes with Yao in foul trouble. And Rafer, came on and did a real nice job tonight.
For a team that's been out-rebounded quite a few times, out-rebounded by a bunch, get loose balls late.
Yeah.
That what needs to be. There were some imperfections in last possessions, but is that what makes it a win?
Well, a lot of it is just, it does come down to making or missing, and we made some free throws, and down 3, Yao got a jump hook, and, we got some stops and had some well-defended possessions, so, it's a close league. It's a hard league.
Pretty good defensive game.
Not bad. Yeah, I thought a bad start again. We're 10-2 tonight, 9-0 the other night. Shooting a lot of jump shots and lacking some intensity to start. But I thought over the last 3 quarters we were a lot better.